David Duchovny stars in one of this year's most talked about and most viewed television programs, The X-Files, Friday nights on the Fox TV network. It has been called a cult hit, but when it won the Golden Globe for Best Drama, the cult favorite became a mainstream hit. Before you came on here, we got 9 pages from people who follow the X-Files on the internet, the computer service. We have the David Estrogen Brigade. We have reports on your pets, on your personal life, your restaurant habits, your clothes, everything. Do you follow this at all, what goes on the internet about the X-Files?
I'm the main supplier of information for those people, obviously. Yeah. I follow some of it. They usually send me flowers if they know where I'm going and things like that. I'm just flattered by the whole thing. I don't know the intricacies of the information and things like that.
But have you gone online with these people ever? Now and again, you know, stars will go online and the fans get to chat.
I did it once very quickly, but it was kind of like walking into a room and everybody saying hello at once, and that was the depth of the conversation. It was just, hi David, hi David, hi David, hi David, and then I had to go, so then it was bye David, bye David, bye David, bye David. So that was hi and bye.
There were no great questions.
And then it ended up on the fact sheet, of course. You know, David likes to say hi and bye. That's his favorite thing.
There were no in-depth questions about how you crafted the character or how the show came to be, nothing like that.
Thank goodness, because
you would have been stuck.
There was not much crafting done.
I've not seen you on too many interviews like this. Do you avoid these as a matter of course, or it's just that they haven't come up?
No, I mean, I've done a few talk shows, but no interviews where I could sit and have a conversation. And I mean, there's part of me that would avoid it because, you know, there's something scary about revealing too much of yourself in a situation like this.
How so?
I think on a talk show where you're an entertainment, you're more coming out to be a funny person or an entertaining person. They accept that. That's the entertainment. You don't have to actually give of yourself. You don't have to give and take in a conversation with another human being. And it's a more frightening proposition to do that. You know, you give more in a situation like that.
Well, let me ask you about this program, and I don't want to ask corny questions about plot and time period and that sort of thing, but let me ask you here about what the X-Files will do to the rest of television. How many other programs in the season 95, 96 will try and emulate what you people have done because you've had great success doing it and great word of mouth from having done it?
Right. I think that's some people's job is to see trends and to try and capitalize on them. However, I don't think that there is a science fiction trend or any kind of trend like that. I think The X-Files is a good show. You have to make a good show to duplicate it. Just by making a show science fiction is not going to duplicate the success of The X-Files.
No, but if they try and replicate what you've done on The X-Files and they don't do it as well, does that somehow lessen the quality of what you've done? No, I guess not.
Well, you know, it's like, does the Ruddles lessen the Beatles or something like, you know, not that we're the Beatles or anything like that, but it's flattering. You know, it's like, hopefully it'll make us seem that much better. You know, say, you know, that's like a faux X-Files or whatever.
In reading about you, I know that you pursued with diligence your education.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how much, as an English major and later working towards a PhD in English, and I've often wondered about actors, especially those who do pursue education with the diligence that you did, how much of the education you have to set aside to be an actor. Because acting is really not thinking, it's feeling, is it not?
Right, well, acting is much more instinctual. In fact, it was odd when I first tried to become an actor. I was almost at a disadvantage coming from where I was, because there were so many layers of analytical or critical thinking that I had to throw away. And it was like all these muscles and all these things that I had developed that were now devalued completely, and in fact made me a more boring actor than anything else. Because the most boring acting is intellectual. You know, there's a sad scene, we should cry. The most exciting acting is instinctual. Here's a sad scene, but I feel like laughing. I'm going to laugh, and then you go, well, what a brilliant thing to have done. What a moving scene. So, in terms of breaking down scripts and seeing what story arcs and things like that it helped me in that, but not in terms of the heart.
But before you stumbled into acting, if in fact that's what you did, David, where were you going pursuing a studies program in English?
Where? I was at Yale. Where was I going?
Where were you going intellectually? Where were you going professionally? What was your goal had you completed that course of studies and never stumbled into acting?
Well, I always wanted to write. I still do. And I guess I was getting a PhD in English literature because I did not yet have the guts to go out and do it on my own. So I was going to be in an academic environment, read the best books, write about the best books, and then maybe in my spare time do some of my own writing. So that was kind of the plan, was to kind of stay in academia and eventually start to write.
And what happened?
I don't know.
How'd you get yanked out of line, so to speak?
Well, I was at Yale, so there were all those acting students running around, and they seemed to be having a great time. And I actually wanted to write for the stage or screenplay, so I thought I should learn something about what kind of dialogue fits. You know, I thought I should learn something about the stage, so I started taking acting there. I just think that my heart wasn't involved, and that was something, you know, the further along you get, if your heart isn't involved, the harder it is to stay in something. And if you have the good fortune to be able to get out, I did.
With the series X-Files, you shoot this up in Canada,
Yeah.
and you work a pretty rigorous schedule. You have a
Yeah.
long day, a 10, 12, 14-hour day.
14.
Was this a surprise to you? You know, I mean, those who watch film think, gee, those people don't work very hard.
They got it made.
Yeah, they got it absolutely made. You know,
Yeah.
come in, say a few things, and go home.
Yeah, yeah. It was very surprising, and the problem that I have is, like, nobody wants to hear you complain about how hard you work if you're on a TV show. So I can sit here and say, yes, it's grueling and it's hard to work.
But tell the folks, what is the hardest part of your job?
The hardest part is showing up every day, kind of combining the workman-like situation of being on a TV series, which is very much punch the clock for 14 hours and do your job, along with the creative, artistic side of trying to make wonderful acting or trying to make a wonderful show. So, you know, nobody says to a painter, you got to paint 14 hours, 10 months out of the year, because they would be scribbling stick figures after a while. So the challenge for me is to not do the equivalent of stick figure acting. And that's hard, you know, because you just get empty, because you're just always there every day and you never have a chance to rejuvenate.
You start every day with a blank page, don't you? Yeah.
You have to try. Sometimes it's not possible. I mean, there are days when I go home and I go, well, you know, I didn't do it today, but, you know, I got to forgive myself because, you know, I'm human.
And you're coming back tomorrow to do it again.
Exactly.
Now, we're going to the phones here in a second. You'll find that much of this is, hi, how are you? Hi, bye, bye. So you're well versed in that.
Oh, yeah,
okay?
I know how to do that.
All right, good. David Duchovny from the X-Files is our guest. The toll-free is up and running at 800-952-2788. Back after these messages and a glimpse of old Milwaukee. Michigan, hello.
Hello. I was just wondering if...
No, Teresa, first say hi to David.
Oh, hello, David.
Hi.
Hi.
How am I doing?
Good.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering if you have any movies coming up, or if you plan on doing any more.
I would have loved to, but our hiatus is only about 7 or 8 weeks this year, so it wasn't possible for me to do a movie in that hiatus, and next year I hope to do one. So there's nothing with me in it coming out but the X-Files for the next little while.
Well, plus which, Teresa, you have to remember that you wear a number of hats. I'll ask you here about Saturday Night Live,
Yeah.
but you also do something for cable which is called Red Shoe Diaries, which I want to develop with you here for a second. So, Teresa, this man has a full plate right now.
That's right.
Okay.
Teresa, I'm glad you called, and if you'd like, we'll be happy to send along the T-shirt from Summerfest in Milwaukee.
There's an extensive video collection of my work, but you'd have to find a really good video store to find the kind of the low budget things that I did. But you know,
Right, I have some, but...
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Baby Snatcher and stuff
Okay,
like
that's
that.
enough. You don't want you don't really want to get into it.
Baby
It was-
Snatcher?
Okay.
It was just a little aside to
Yeah.
you.
What was that title, Teresa? Teresa?
Baby Snatcher.
What?
Baby Snatcher.
Well, don't make her say it 4 times.
No. Well, if she does, she wins.
Say it 10 times fast.
If she does, she wins the car. We'll send along the T-shirt, Teresa. Thanks for watching. Thanks for calling.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.
The thrill of, put that in the locker for her, the thrill of hosting Saturday Night Live. Wow.
Yeah, it's there was nothing like it. I mean, the whole week before, I basically didn't eat because I just thought it's not going to come together. You just don't think it's going to come together. There's nothing there until Saturday at about 9:30 when you're finally putting together the final show. And then you think you're going to be nervous, but what you realize is that your entire human energy is focused on the show, and there's nothing left to be nervous, and you're left with this pure exhilaration.
What about, though, when Don Pardo says, and
Oh,
starring, David
Yeah,
Duchovny,
you're-
you walk through those doors
You're
and
back there behind the door, and you're testing the knob so that you're sure it's going to open. You're just looking at that little latch going like that and making sure it's there. And you don't want to blow it by kind of poking your head through before he finishes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then it's just pure, you just get filled up. It's an amazing feeling.
And when you start on that show, I've often wondered with guest hosts, do they want you to be funny in a monologue situation?
Yeah, they kind of write for you or to you, but yeah, it helps if you're funny. You know that.
Always.
That's kind of what the show's about. But you know, they ask you, do you do anything funny? It's kind of like being with your relatives, you know, that you haven't seen in a few years. They go, do you do any imitations, Dave? do you do anything funny? Do you imitate an animal? Do you do celebrity impersonations? Can you tell a joke? Can you dance? Can you sing? You can't do any of those things. Well, we'll write something for you. We'll make it work. Can you just stand there and look mildly funny?
And what did they do for you? Were you pleased with what they did for you?
I was very pleased. You know, I thought that the show was pretty good. I was really proud of it, and just more than anything, I just had such a great time.
And then afterwards, they have the party where you go with the cast, right?
Yeah.
And they have the drinks and stuff.
Yeah, they have the drinks and stuff. Sure.
To me, that would be a reason enough to go and do the show, was because then afterwards you get to go to this party and they have the food and the drinks and stuff.
Anywhere there's drinks and stuff, I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'll be right there.
Me too.
And it was the last party of the year, so.
That's right, you closed the show for
all
the
the drinks and stuff that they were hiding from all the other parties, they brought out. You know, I had the best drinks and stuff.
Jason in Milwaukee, hello.
Hi.
Hi, have you been to Summerfest, Jason?
Hi. I was wondering, David, what do you believe in, like, of Mulder's views? I mean, do you believe in, like, the same thing Mulder's believes in?
Not necessarily. I mean, I'm not, certainly not as passionately, and I'm more of a show me. Yeah, I'd believe in a UFO or an alien if it landed on my head, but that's about, you know, that's about how far it's got to go.
You could pass as one who was born in Missouri.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
So it's just like you got to see it to believe it type?
I'm pretty much that way.
And does Jillian, does she believe like what Mulder believes in, and kind of in like real life is it kind of like vice versa?
I think she's a little more open to it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But see, what actually we're both identical to our characters, and we decided that in order for people to think that we were good actors, that we were going to create this hoax where we said we actually are the complete opposite of our characters. So I'm just perpetuating that hoax now.
Yeah, let me just try this one more time. Jason,
have you been to Summerfest?
Have you been
Jason?
down to Summerfest yet, Jason?
No, I'm probably going to go Sunday.
Okay, have a good time and thanks for calling.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye-bye. We have a little snip of the X-Files, and I have no idea what's on here, but we'll take a look together.
Okay. There is a weird feel to this place. Maybe there's some truth to those rumors.
I think he incited your imagination. I think this case is nothing more than a murderer taking advantage of local folklore. I mean, there's nothing odd about...
So, lunch?
That is from the X-Files on Fox, starring our guest tonight, David Duchovny. We will continue with more of you as time permits, briefly on the toll-free at 800-952-2788. We'll be right back after this break. Red Shoe Diaries appears on cable. You host this program, and you portray a character, if I guess it right, who is constantly bewildered about what makes women the way they are.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's been described as soft romance.
Yeah.
Soft.
Soft core. Yeah. Pornography.
Pornography.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Why don't we have a clip from that? Never mind this umbrella stuff. What happens there in the Red Shoe country?
Well, in the pilot, my fiancée had killed herself. I find her diary. She chronicles an affair she had. I'm completely baffled by this. And in the end, I take out an ad for women, if they have secrets that they can't tell anybody, to send them to me, the lonely guy with the dog. And that's I don't actually say that.
Yeah, I know, but I'd leave it in if I were you. You know, that could work here. You know, but just say, you know, if
You just
there
need a dog there with
yeah,
you.
I could borrow one or two and have one brought in.
Yeah.
And just you could look at the camera soulfully and say, what's the line again?
Just send your secrets to the lonely guy with the dog.
Yeah, or just call the toll-free number and tell Tom your secrets. Those of you sitting out there.
1-800-MASTER.
Oh.
Yeah, could be. You know, that's
I
the
think-
dog I'm talking about. I'm talking about the dog.
Oh,
now.
the dog.
You
I
know,
thought for a
master.
second your Twin Peaks experience was getting to you. Here's Heather in Fort Nelson, South Carolina, or British Columbia. Hello.
Ah, that's where we shoot.
Hello.
Hi.
Heather in British Columbia. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, hello is good.
See?
Can we move on?
Hello?
Hi.
You got it. Hello.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, and if you're
Hello,
here,
David.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
just like on the computer, isn't it?
I'm having deja vu all over again.
Yeah, right. Okay. Heather, it's time for goodbye.
No, please.
Okay,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Heather, your question, please.
I would like to know if the X-Files are based on real FBI cases.
I don't think so. That's all I can. They're based on stories that the writers of the show make up. I'm sure they go off of stories in the newspaper that they then go on to fictionalize, but they're not based on real cases as far as I know. It would be a hell of a lot easier to write if they were.
Sure would.
Yeah.
Be a lot more of them, too.
Yeah.
Yep. Glad you called, Heather.
Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome. Put Heather out of her misery. On Twin Peaks,
I think I worked with her.
Yeah, right. On Twin Peaks, you had the transvestite part.
That's correct.
Did you enjoy that role?
Yes, I did. It was a lot of fun. I mean, you know, it's not often that you get to wear a nice bra and panties and a dress and get paid for it.
I know.
And okay, well there you have it.
And like, did you have to be shaved?
Yeah, I shaved my legs actually from about here down. So it's funny because I swim to stay in shape. At least I did then. And I'd go to the gym and then I'd shower and I'm sure that the guys were like, "Who's the guy in the fur shorts?" You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know what you mean, and I
You don't know what
I
that
don't know
means.
exactly if I want to
You
go
went
there
with me
you.
with the bra and panties
But
and that.
I always thought, you know, that if you were showering afterwards, your eyes were always right straight ahead. You know what I mean? It's usually you're looking them right in the eye at all
Not
times.
in the West Hollywood gym.
Oh, so I don't want to go there either.
No.
Well, it's been a long time since the beer commercial, hasn't it?
Yeah. I can't say any more.
You don't need to. I've enjoyed this more than I can tell you. I thank you for your time, and I wish you every success, and thank you especially for your good sense of humor.
Oh, you're welcome.
My pleasure,
My
sir.
pleasure.
Mr. David Duchovny, who is one of the stars of The X-Files, which appears weekly on the Fox television network. Back with author Michael Chabon after these messages.